All right, this is the perfect spot right here. Look. Yes. Perfect spot, okay? Because we got to get creative up in here. We ain't got enough room like that. What y'all think this is? What y'all think I'm renting? Like, a cherry up in here? It's not that much room up in here. It's very small. It's tiny. I'm outgrowing it. But this is my mansion right here. I'm going to move you back a little bit. Sometimes lizards do be in folds and spots, so I got to be very careful because I don't really do the lizards like that. But, okay, I'm going to take some of the stuff I got over here, and I'm going to do this, y'all. I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm going to the busiest place on my side of town, and I'm not using this stuff right here. Like, this is ribbons from when I used to make ribbons for my homes, and all of this is going to be used to wrap gifts. But I'm going to do it in a specific way, a special way. I got all the materials, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and charge to wrap these gifts. So yeah, I'm going to take stuff from my homes and I'm going to recycle it and reuse it. So this is what I'm going to be doing. All right, so we got that. Now, there's a special reason why I'm doing all of this, because I do like to make money. I am an entrepreneur. I live and I breathe working and stuff and being business minded for yourself. I don't believe in working for someone else, for somebody else. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'll collaborate with you on a project, but as far as work with you, like work for you, I don't think that's for me, because I know I'm entrepreneurial minded, which means I can set my own schedule, set my own pace. I don't want nobody telling me what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. That's not for me. That's just not. That's why I became an entrepreneur, okay? So I don't have to ask somebody, can I take off? Now, there's some pros and some cons of being an entrepreneur. Sometimes it's like, dang, I got to wake up. I got to make money. I have to do this. I'm the only one that depend on me. I have to feed myself. I got to eat. You know what I'm saying? And I have all these homes up here, all these pretty homes. And it's not like I don't want to sell them. It's just that it's so hard to refer to another house when you sell it. My original home, I had to let that one go. It was either let that home go and sell it or lose your car. At that time, my car was up and running. I was like, you know what? I don't like the repo man like that. And nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and make ways and part with the Savage Sunflower House. So, but shout out to a very special customer of mine. She bought my first house. And also shout out to another customer of mine. She bought one of my kits. So shout out to y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for what y'all did. Y'all helped me with the Wagon and the Dream. And I want to shout out to everybody on the GoFundMe who helped with the Wagon and the Dream. Without y'all, I couldn't have done what I'm about to do now, okay? I took a lot of that money and all of that money and I invested it into Wagon and the Dream, okay? So if y'all go to the page, the GoFundMe, you'll see what I'm talking about and how I was able to utilize it. Now, I made that content in 2021 and the shed did not look like this. I wish my sister would not have upgraded this shed. Like, she upgraded it by giving it the walls, and she didn't do nothing with the ceiling, but yeah, she like upgraded it, but it was fine the way it was. But this is not my space, so I ain't have no say over that. But I'm going to use all of the stuff that I'm not using, and I'm going to utilize to buy more stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking all this fancy ribbon I ain't using, and I'm about to make some buku coins on this stuff, okay? I got stuff for other projects I'm probably going to need down the road, because as a crafter, you know when you ain't working on something and you don't need it at that time, but you need it later down the road, you be like, man, I wish I would have saved it then. Or I never thought of using this. Yeah, so this is for like $3.99 Hobby Lobby. I'm gonna I'm gonna do this. Now, I used to work at Bed Bath & Beyond, right? So the colors there, their theme color was purple. Now they did brides and bridal stuff, and it was for men too. But when people got married or were gonna get married, they would go to stores like that, and what they would do is they would register and get gift registries, and people could come there and pick out the gifts and send it off to the bride. And we had to, of course, wrap the gifts if we wanted to. They had somebody that was designated to do it. I mean, it was cool, but wrapping the gifts really wasn't my thing, but I know how to do it because I used to wrap my family gifts too. And I was like, okay, all right, this might be cool. All right, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and use up all this fancy ribbon right here that I don't use, that I don't have no use for. And we're going to recycle it and make more money. Now, of course, you got to start really small, which is why all big dreams start out small. Start with what you have first, then you upgrade later. Like, I don't have many styles of wrapping paper. I don't have really no wrapping paper besides this wrapping paper right here. That would have been good. I could have used that as an option, but I'm going to go with a simple wrapping paper. It's going to look just like this, cardboard, and I'm going to use, ribbon to wrap it. So when I get a little bit more money, I'm going to upgrade from the plain, I'll call it plain Jane, and I'm going to upgrade it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get better stuff as I upgrade. So that's to be an easy thing. Now I'm trying to get like a couple people to come and work with me. Let's just see how this gonna work. Now we didn't think this all the way through. Like, for example, I don't want security to F with me, but I do know how lawsuits work too. So be careful, be mindful if you're gonna do that. Check with the organization, see who's in the area, because you don't want it to look like sketchy or anything, but at the same time, you're just doing what you're doing. You're working. Okay. You're an entrepreneur, and don't let nobody stop you. But also keep your safety in mind too, because people do be like lurking. They do be looking, and you don't want to get taken advantage of, and you don't want that to happen to you. So always keep your phone on and record it. And just in case, because people is crazy these days. They so crazy. Very much. You cannot trust everybody. All right. Just keeping it real. 100%. Like, okay. First mistake I made was trust. Can't trust everybody. Where's little guy at? You guys know my dog, little guy, my little Chucky dog. He's somewhere up there in the storage area, right up there in that bag, okay? He ready to come out. He ready to have fun. But I hadn't had a chance to really utilize him like I want to, because I've been so busy with making new projects and working on these right here. Those really keep me busy. I love working on those, because those are my new style now. I like the construction style now. That's the look I'm going for now. All right. So, I mean, I guess y'all can look at the mansion and stuff too. It's just sitting and everything. It's just sitting, It's just sitting. Yeah. Oh, snap. So this is that list I was looking for. I need to cross some stuff off this list, y'all. I got a little list right here. Design a mock-up presentation. Okay, I already did that. Do 3 versions and add spaces. Yeah, okay. Cool. We're going to get back to that list. See, I wrote that list like a year ago. Still ain't finished all of it, but hey, little bit by little, all big dreams start out small, all right? So I'm about to go ahead and make me like a little poster. I think my stuff in here from last year or the year before that. I had to get real creative and stuff. All right, hold up. See, y'all, look what I'm dealing with. Look, hold up, look. Y'all, I had to climb through this table right here. Okay, I'm going to need this table. Yeah, I'm going to need this table. Or maybe I can use that pink table right there. I just need a table to put the stuff on as I wrap it. And I don't want to do nothing big. I just want something small that I could move around and shift and maneuver. And that's going to help me be able to raise more funds for what I need to do in my next projects. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make some more money, okay? I'm all about being an entrepreneur. I really am. All right, so let me find the box I'm looking for and all that good stuff. So I'll see y'all later. So happy crafting, folks. Don't forget, all big dreams start out small. And thank y'all so much for watching the channel. Normally, I don't show y'all behind the scenes. I didn't want to do this to show y'all, but I felt like the story was too good not to tell, because when the camera wasn't on, I was talking. And I was like, I need to be recording this. I need to be documenting this. This is 2025. I started in 2020, and I'm still going, okay? I am still going. I never gave up. My friend BJ over there on that wall, I would always be working on the house. He'd be like, come on, friend, let's go out. Let's do something. I'd be like, friend, no, man, I got to work. I always have to work. I'm doing a new house. But I would always be excited to tell BJ, like, BJ, guess what, friend? I got a brand new house. Friend, guess what I'm doing now? I was always building. He was like, Louis, you need a break. You not no robot. You going to burn out like that. Lo and behold, I did. I did, too. I definitely did. A couple times I didn't even want to build homes no more. Not because I didn't have space, because I have another hobby, too. I have other hobbies. Like, I like to do music. I like to do film. I like to, I love history. I like stuff like that. I don't always just build homes. Like, that's just something I'm good at, but it's not like my 100%, like, it's just something I'm good at. Let's just say that's something I was born and blessed to be able to do, architecture. And I like to be able to do that. So, yeah. But when I get me some more space, my idea is when I get some more space, like have a big room and just have each home categorized and in one spot, which is kind of why I don't want to sell them just yet. Because once you sell a home, let's say like if you're doing a particular technique on a home, If you sold it, you just got to look at photos, and looking at photos don't always work versus seeing it in person. It's just really hard to really maneuver and do that. So I'm gonna tell y'all a few more other things, and I'm gonna let y'all go because I know y'all's ready to go. Y'all got stuff y'all gotta do, because I do too. Trust me, I do. Now, this is my Wagon and a Dream GoFundMe, and this right here is saying how you can help. It says, please consider helping me fund other projects. My fundraising link is in the... Okay, y'all, I need to read this one like this. It says, my fundraising link is below, explains my whole pledge set aside from my dream homes. I would also like to expand my line and build play homes, dog houses, bird houses, tree houses, as well as buy supplies and hire staff and teach classes. Your donation could help me reach my financial goal of $15,000. You can also read the kind words people who have pledged to my dream foundation. Yes, I have a dream foundation. And thank you so much, and happy crafting. So, yeah, we're going to need this for tomorrow. So this is the QR code, and it's just smarter to have a QR code on your stuff, okay? So, yeah, this right here. So tomorrow I'm going to be, like, charging the prices. I don't know how much I'm going to charge to wrap the gifts, but we're going to charge. Now, this is another version of me, because I do, like, home decor stuff, too. I'm really good at home decor stuff. So this is another version of me a long time ago. I did have this furniture. Let me tell y'all the story of this. So I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? And I was subleasing my sister's boyfriend apartment. He didn't have no furniture. His house was really bare. It was like, why are you living here? Like, you live here? Like, you look like you just moved in. You've been here for almost a year. So I ended up taking over his lease, right? Do you see all this furniture? This is furniture that I had invested, I had bought. And the story behind all this furniture is it was so amazing to get furniture, especially if you see that chair in the background behind me. Now, I had wanted a sofa a long time ago, right? I looked everywhere. I was like, let me go find something at Goodwill. At first, I didn't even want furniture. I was like, let me just rent furniture, right? Which would have been more smarter, just to rent it, because you can return it back when you're done. But that's like, you just paid for what, just to rent it? No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually buy furniture. So I worked at this job I did not like. I used to build up hotels. I was a project manager at this place out of Miami, but I worked in Atlanta. I did not like that place. I did not like that company I worked with. They were unprofessional, they were rude, and they were mean. And when they're like that, I gotta go. I was doing worse staying there, mentally depressing myself there, than just like, moving. So I moved on. But the construction part and being a project manager, that was fun. I got a chance to see what it's like to build a team. And I learned how to be a leader. And I became a leader. I really did. So after this guy, and I wish I knew what I knew about how the law works, because I would have sued him for emotional distress too, because he was the supervisor at that time. And he threatened me. He was like, you'll never work again or something like that. Either way, you see me, and this is why I'm doing entrepreneurship, okay? Don't let them jobs stress y'all out. Quit them jobs. But make sure you know the law. EEOC. Or, if you represent yourself like pro se, I'm a pro se type of person, which means I wouldn't need a lawyer all the time. I'd rather represent myself, because I feel like, yeah, that's just better. Just brush up on stuff on YouTube. It's free. Okay? So, yeah. So, that's that. I know I'm oversharing, y'all. I'm telling y'all a lot of information, ain't it? Okay, so I just want to mention this. If Miss Peggy is watching this, Miss Peggy, I want to say thank you so much. I named the house after you, the Peggy Heminger. That one. Wait, that one right there. Thank you, Miss Peggy, for buying one of my kits, for being supportive all these years. And I consider you as a good friend. So if you're watching, I want to say thank you so much. Happy crafting, okay? I hope that you are alive and very well, okay? Thank you so much for those talks. Thank you so much for support. I truly do thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I thank all of y'all for watching my journey and stuff like that, because I'm still growing. I'm still building. There's so much I want to do. My goal and my dream, my ultimate dream, is to be a residential home builder, building my own homes, outside of my other hobbies, but building my own homes and stuff like that. I'm going to put y'all inside the mansion, because, we're going to build this mansion too. All right. So that's like one of my ultimate goals, is to build my own homes, which is why I keep building. These are actually my prototypes. So when the time comes and I'm ready to build, my prototypes are ready. These are my prototypes. Nobody knows that. That's actually what all of these are my prototypes. They look like doll houses. You can call them architectural models, doll houses, but they're really my prototypes. So for example, I have tree homes, dog homes, play homes, kid homes, tiny homes, theme homes. I have a lot of homes. Okay. I have a lot of homes. I'm never homeless. Okay. I just can't fit inside these homes. I'm never homeless. I'm always house. I'm not house poor. Okay. I'm really not. But other than that, I just want to say, yeah, that's basically that. And I think that's it. I'm about to listen to my music. I'm about to go ahead and get this fundraising thing going on. And I'm glad I did come out here because it was like, you need to go outside and you need to get your business and stuff together and people will buy this stuff from you. You just got to sell it and market it. And I'm going to clean myself up a little bit too because I know I look a little, I'm trying to grow my beard out, but y'all, come on now. It's taking forever. I don't want to look like this right here. Smooth baby face Lewis. I miss this look. This look was good because it was like, it was clean. All right. Versus, wow, you look kind of groggy. But this is me behind the camera. I'm not always on camera all the time. So it's like, I'm trying a different look for myself. And I actually like how I look. You know what I'm saying? My hair is growing out a little bit. And, I like how I look. It took a long time for me to find the self-confidence of how I look, okay? I don't want to be a people pleaser. I'm not here to please you. I need to please myself, okay? One thing I learned is don't be a people pleaser. If they don't like you, they don't like you. You can't make somebody like you. And if they like you, then they just like you. But it's all about how you make people feel at the end of the day because people will never forget how you make them feel. Whether you make them feel good or bad, they will never forget that, okay? All right. They will never forget that. And I also want to leave with this note. And a lot of y'all have heard this before, but this is one of the famous African adverbs that I believe in. It's called a proverb. I was looking at it today. The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And that is something that I stick by. So let's just say like that time I was discriminated against at that state fair in South Carolina a couple months ago. It made me feel like, why am I being discriminated against at the state fair? And it's for everybody. And you're going to tell me I can't participate because my work looks too professional? And those wasn't in your rules when I first started entering into the contest? You mean to tell me I worked on these homes and I can't show off my work? And you're doing underhanded tactics? And you're cheating me out of my money that I won? I'll give you a good example, all right? This house was for the state fair. It was for a category called unfurnished house. Nobody competes in that one. I'm the only one that be competing in that one. They got 4 categories, right? I won on that one, okay? I was the only one to compete. Next year I came back. I was the only one. The lady said I couldn't get the prize. So I asked her, I was like, why I can't get the prize? She said because such and such didn't show up. That wasn't true. That was not true. Because when I went home, I looked at the records. And you know what the records said? The records had said this. I saw 10 win by default, 10 plus win by default. So that lady lied. Yeah, that superintendent who was over the state fair, she lied. I'm going to get her in court, though. In court. Yeah, I'll see you in court, lady. You and your general manager. I will see y'all both in court. I will be there smiling. Me and my ancestors, okay? Because we not playing with y'all. We is not playing, okay? What you did was wrong. You knew it was wrong. And you knew it wasn't right. Why would you do that? This is somebody who is an artist who wants to show off his work. Obviously, I don't want to have it in the shed all the time. I want to show it off. That was my most important part. It was never about the money to win the prizes. Do you know how much the money was to win the prizes? Okay, they got 2 sides, all right? They got a side for people who like to build and do creative stuff like crafts. And they got a art side, which is just paintings and stuff and photography, okay? Those are 2 separate sides. On this side with the crafts, prize money is $10, $20. $100 at the most. $75. I got $100 for that, okay? No, I got $75 for that. I was like, I'm not wasting my time bringing in none of my homes. But it was about really showing it off for me, not the prize money, because miniatures add up, okay? Miniatures are not cheap. They add up, and supplies add up. You know how much construction paper costs for a pack at Hobby Lobby? It's not cheap, okay? Money already gone. Now, the other side, they had fine art artists. where you can do professional versus amateur. On that side, you getting big money, like money. Like you can win just in the photography contest, $3,000 just for taking a photo. $3,000. Not only that, if you do paintings, your painting prize money is $5,000. Now, something's really like effed up about all of that. You giving your crafters who, let's say like a person make a quilt, right? You giving that person for that quilt $10. What am I supposed to, what are they supposed to buy with $10? Okay? The yarn alone costs more than $10. Do you know how much this is? Look, this is a little bit more than $10 right here, okay? It's a lot more than $10. All right? A lot more versus a person who just painted a painting like this right here. Okay, I do paint sometimes too, but not all the time. But $10? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Y'all need to upgrade this. Y'all go ahead and give us some more money. My thing is, when I asked to be a judge, I was like, okay, since you're going to try to cheat and steal and lowball me, I'm going to ask to be a judge. So therefore, I'm going to see how you all are judging. Are you doing it fairly? Are you doing it unfairly? Like, what y'all doing? Something right about this, okay? Something right about this. The lady told me, the superintendent lady who's over that building, the Moore building, this is what she said. No. And this is what I said. Okay. All right. She tried to discourage me from competing the next year. And I came back the next year. And I was met with that C, her name, note. And I went to the front where they actually sign you up so you can get your drop-off tickets. And I went there. And I was like, okay, I'm here to see you. Do you know she said she would not accept my work? Because I had called her out for cheating people. So, lady, I'm going to get you in court. I will see your ass in court, okay? I'm going to see you. Ooh, I'm going to see you in... Me and my ancestors, we're going to see you in court. So, yeah. But another part of me is y'all going to see a lot of videos of me doing, like, the court stuff because I'm really into justice and justice being served very fairly. Hint, hint, wink, wink, the World's Fair of Chicago, which is why I was telling y'all that I'm not for that injustice stuff, okay? It needs to be fair. It needs to be equal. And I might even put some parts of the video in this video, but it's probably gonna be in another video. But yeah, that just shows you, if you're gonna do something dirty, underhanded like that, cover your tracks up well, because I always find out. And me, knowing me, I'm like a detective. Not only am I creative, but I'm a detective type. I love to figure things out. I love to solve puzzles. I'm a thinker, okay? Look at what I build. I'm a thinker. I like to think. Okay, I like to think. I figure it out all the time. It's like what they say. Play chess, not checkers. I figured it out. I solved the clue. Okay? You might have thought you got away with it. Oh, no. The universe saw what you did and how you did it. And I had one of my projects with me. I was like, let me take this project in here, okay? I had 4 of them. So I'm going up in there and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to drop these off. I'm going to be out. Be on my way. This lady gave me a hard time. This is the 4th year in a row. She's been giving me hard times. Every time I come up in there, it's always an issue with just her. It's never nobody else. It's always her. So she needs to get out that building. She really does. She shouldn't be over that building. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't discriminate against anybody. You don't do that and think it's fair. And then what really was messed up was when I looked at the categories, my name was still in winning by default. And people don't know what winning by default is. Winning by default is if you show up, nobody else don't show up, you won. Even if you don't compete, you show up and you won. And she didn't like that I challenged her on that. I looked at them rules and I looked at them and I dissected them line by line. And when I dissected them, I was like, hold up, this don't make sense. Something ain't right. So that's when I started to do further research and I started contacting that general manager lady. She was in on this too. And I know she had something to do with this. Oh, I know you had something to do with this. This got your hand all on it, lady. Okay? It got your handprints all on it. I know you had something to do with it. And like I said, the universe is not blind about anything. So that goes to tell y'all, if you go out there and you try to cheat people, you try to steal and lie, it will come back and haunt you in the butt, okay? Or in the face or wherever, all right? It will bite you in the ass, all right? So guys, remember, do not do underhanded stuff like that, okay? This situation was kind of like when you buy a used car and it's from a salesman who is like not really trustworthy. That's what this felt like. This felt like Jim Crow days, okay? But this is a lady in charge of it. So I gotta say Jill Crow days. That's what it felt like. It felt like Jim Crow, Jill Crow. It felt like discrimination. There's no way to put that. This was discrimination. This was definitely some discrimination. And I was really to the point where it was like, okay. This emotional distress is just adding up, adding up, adding up, adding up. Because I wasn't able to work on my projects for a while. Because hey, this is where I come at to free myself from the real world. I come to my miniatures or my small homes and stuff, and like being able to not compete in that contest was like, isn't it a contest? Why I can't compete? You don't qualify. You need to read the rule books. It's in our handbooks. You can't do this because you made over $1,000. Who told you I made over $1,000? Who told you that? I didn't tell y'all I made over $1,000. And why is that important? And then what really sucked was she put amateurs only on this competition, okay? We ain't never had no amateurs only on there. And then she tried to call me a professional, all right? Yeah, I know my work looks good, but ma'am, come on. You are not going to do that to me. You think that it's okay to do what you did? No, 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 no. It was never okay what you did. The universe saw it. The people around you saw it. But like I said, what you do in the dark comes to the light. And my discernment told me that something wasn't right. Like, you need to go ahead and read into this. Don't just let that go. Like, they cheated you. Like, read their rules. Read them. And when you read them, you know what I'm saying? It starts to make sense. This don't make sense. This ain't adding up. I felt like on the day to pick up the cash prizes or the checks, she was in charge of the checks. She was sitting at that table, handing them out. So I'll go up to her and I'm asking her, I was like, hold up. I was supposed to win. I won this category, but wasn't I supposed to get a check for this? And then she told me like this. No, because so-and-so didn't show up. Now, their rules didn't say anything about that. So, like I said, I went home, did my research. I found out what default was and winning by default. Let's say like if you have a judgment against you in court. Let's say like if you don't pay a debtor. Somebody like is like, hey, you know what? We're going to take you to court. And if you don't show up, that person, the plaintiff is the one who is suing. The defendant is the one who is having to defend. Okay, so if the defendant does not show up, the plaintiff can file a motion. A motion is just an action in court, just paperwork. They can file a motion to win by default because the other party ain't show up. So that's also another example. Now, a real example that I gave her, and I told her to fix it. I told her to write this right. Do not make this wrong. I still like to compete. I don't want y'all to lose my patronage on my business because I've been doing this for a little while. I told her, can you write this? Like, make it right. And she did not want to do that. And the next year I came back, I was not able to compete, you know. So that shows you that was retaliation too. So that's another way. So lady, like I said, you might have thought you won that battle, but you didn't win the war. Because like I said, I'm losing Wagon in a dream. I don't give up. I'm a trooper. I keep going, okay? I keep going, all right? I really do. I've already been through a lot. I already go through a lot. Don't tamper with my dream, okay? Tamper with your own dream, right? Not mine. But I will take you to court. I'm going to take you to court. And I think like that's the best thing to do. Take them to court, okay? Even if you got to represent yourself, they have ways and resources, okay? They got this thing called former paupus or something like that. I think that's the name of the form. If you cannot afford a lawyer, if you cannot afford the trial, you can fill out the paperwork and you just tell them what your circumstances are and the court will let you know. You got to serve them 4 things. You got to serve them the 4 parts of a lawsuit, okay? It's called a complaint. The complaint is just a complaint when you go to the court. And you got to put several factors in there, okay? You got to look at what happened, how it happened, when it happened, where it happened. Was there any witnesses watching? They got different forms. Now, I just want to let y'all know this is not one of those videos that's telling you about law and how that works. This is not that video. This is a video that's pretty much telling you if something was to happen like that, and what would you do if you would represent yourself? You didn't have money for a lawyer. I'm not about to waste no money on a lawyer, period, when I can just do it myself, okay? But there are 4 forms of a lawsuit. There is the cover page. There is the summons page to serve them. There is there are 2 more other forms. And this kind of sucks because I be honest, y'all. I be honest. When I'm not crafting, oh, you better believe I'm on YouTube being a lawyer, okay? I'm on YouTube learning. Yeah, I'm doing that. But, yeah, you got to serve them, serve them, serve them, serve them. Okay, that's the only way. And then you got to file the fee. So, cover page, the summons. The summons is going to let you know who's the party, who's suing who. And then you got to have the fee. You got to pay that fee. Or you can get that fee waived if you can't afford it. Maybe you can pay that another time. And then the last page, the last and not the least page, I think that is either the cover page or they're not in order what I'm telling y'all. But yeah, that's just something y'all know. There's 4 steps to the process. Each state is different, but read your state rules. And yeah, I am definitely for like justice and stuff. Like I am a civil rights activist. Yes, I am. I do stand up for stuff like that, like discrimination and stuff. I have a new project called Stand. STAND stands for Speak Up and Speak Out to All Nonviolent Discrimination, okay? Discrimination of any kind is wrong. It doesn't matter. It's just wrong, okay? It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Yeah, it's just wrong. Which is why I made another notice, and this is totally different, but remember I was telling you about lizards in the shed? You know, lizards, they don't bother nobody. They just, yeah, they're kind of creepy. But they don't bother nobody. They really just lay around. They like to be in the sun and stuff. And there'd be a lot of them too. Like, I don't know like what they be having. Last week I thought they was having like a family reunion up in here. Like it was just 5 of them. And I was like, how y'all got in here? Y'all got a key or something? They actually come through the little cracks. I've been figuring out. There's a vent up there. They come through there. And there's also little cracks behind the drywall too, where they can just ease on up in here. So yeah, but the story of the shed is this is my sister's pink shed. And she used to come out here. She had her whole thing going on out here where she was doing a clothing line. And baby girl wouldn't survive. She wouldn't survive out here with all them lizards. She don't even come out here no more. I've been out here occupying the shed for a long time, right? Yeah, so my friend BJ would visit me. Like, I'd be working on projects. We both be working on my projects together. He helped me, but I'd be like, friend, I got it today. You know, I'm going to do it right here. And then I would have to pick him up from work and stuff. And those are days I miss. I miss those days. I don't really, but I miss it. I miss having a car and being able to drive places, but I really don't miss that. Like, picking him up all the time. Cause it would kind of be draining on me too. Cause like I can't finish a project. 'Cause I gotta pick you up from work and drop you off at home and come home and work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't miss that part, but I do miss my friend. I hope he's, you know, God rest his soul. But yeah, he helped me a lot. Even though we was not the best of friends, sometimes we would fight over stupid stuff, and it would be some stupid stuff that we fight over. Okay, like for example. I'm big on keeping your word, okay? Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it, okay? Don't have me looking for you. Show up on time. Be professional, okay? But I had to learn, like, that's how BJ was. You know, you got to accept him. You know, he's not perfect. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't a perfect person. And I think I put him so high on the pedestal of, like, okay, friend got this. He going to come through. He going to come through. Sometimes he didn't come through. He didn't come through. He always would be like, Lewis, you're gonna get it when I give you it, okay? Like it would be like small stuff. It'd be like, friend, okay, I need you gonna let me borrow like $10? I need to borrow $10. It'd be 2 days later. Dang, friend, where you been at? You ain't even call. You didn't call. So yeah, but I had to learn, like, that's how some people are. You know, you gotta accept them for who they are. So yeah, I look back at those moments where we just chill. We had some really good times. We also got into some fist fights too. That's another story, y'all. That's another story. Like, we were the type of friends, like, he referred to me as his best friend, but he was my real friend, okay? He was my real friend. he was never my best friend or anything. He was my real friend. And it's a difference between real friend versus best friend, all right? Best friend is like, you're going to be there all the time, blah, blah, blah. A real friend to me is like, y'all know I have like, I grew up kind of as the only child at first, but it was like, nah, I got to make my own friends. My homes became my friends. These were my friends. Stuff I was building was my friends because I was used to being by myself all the time. And then traveling on the road by myself, it was like, okay, I got to make my own friends. You know, I have great imagination. So I'm a story writer too. I write stories. So like I said, BJ was my real friend. I didn't imaginally make him up. You know what I'm saying? So he was my real friend. But other than that, you know, every time we get into like an argument or stuff like that, like it would be over some stupid stuff. Like, you know how friends like clash heads and stuff? You know how that happens? Like you clash heads. Like I just felt like our friendship was like just drifting apart because I felt like we both had to grow. And I obviously, as an entrepreneur, I felt like I got to figure this out on my own. He would always want to help me, but I'd be like, friend, I got to do this on my own. I can't have you. And, you know, and you kind of like messing up my friendship with you. You're just doing that. You're not keeping your word. You say you're going to be here. You say you're going to do this. And friend, you kind of slack as a friend. And I wasn't the perfect friend either. I was one of the people who was like, I was very much wrapped into my businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always wagoning a dream. I was always about myself. And I was a little selfish about that, you know? But as you can see, the selfishness kind of paid off in a way. You know, he was good at photography, so he would be the guy behind the camera sometimes. And, you know, I look back on it. I miss my friend for that. I miss our conversations that we would talk about. But at the same time, it was like, you know, that's why you got to appreciate people because don't take them for granted. They're not always here tomorrow. You know, it's been plenty of times when we fell out. I wanted to reach out. I wanted to be like, friend, how you doing today? You want to go somewhere? Let's go somewhere. Let's do something fun. And there are also times I was like, I can't stand him. Ooh, yeah, he gonna get what he got coming to him. Those are times too. So, yeah, I'm glad that I was able to talk to y'all and let y'all see like it's more to me than just wagging in a dream and all big dreams start out small. Like I'm a real person. I do real things, and you know, I'm not a perfect person. I'm really not perfect. But I do try to still encourage and inspire people. One thing I would always tell BJ, my biggest goal is to leave a legacy behind, okay? Leave a legacy. Let people know you existed. Have a story to tell so people could know you. I would always tell him that. If you're going through something, put yourself into a hobby. Throw yourself into it, no matter what it is. Now, I'm not specifically sure how my friend died, but when he passed, I know that he had heart issues. I know that he had issues with his kidneys. He had kidney failure. He was a smoker. Like he smoked a lot of cigarettes. I would be like, friend, stop all this smoking the cigarettes. It'll be okay. But little did I know, no matter how many cigarettes he smoked, his body was shutting down. Like it was just shutting down. And we fell out. I'll never forget. We were coming from Miami and we fell out. All I have left of him is a token that I took from Miami, which was this rock. I took this big rock. It was like really big. And I always take a rock to remind me of the place where I want to be at so I can always have something to touch. That rock witnessed it all, everything that happened. It was a disaster, okay? It was a disaster how our friendship ended. And when he was alive, like close to like a couple months before he died, I had already made peace with what had happened. We fell out over materialistic stuff. I lent him a camera. I lent him something to help him. It was my brother's camera. And I also, when he washed my clothes, because he would like wear my clothes too. And I was like, friend, can I get my jacket back? I'm asking you about this jacket like 2 months now. You gonna give my jacket back or what? No, I ain't got your jacket, blah, blah, blah. And friend, you got my jacket. Come on, bring my jacket back. I need my jacket. It get cold. So think about being on the Titanic. That's why I would never bring my laptop on no ocean liner because you can't bring that in a lifeboat. I'm sure you can't. And at that time on the Titanic, you damn sure couldn't bring no laptop. They ain't had no laptops. So, even though he's gone, my stuff that was with him is gone too. I don't know what he did with it. He don't want to know. So yeah, and the stuff that he had that I saw before he was before he died, I got rid of it. And I don't have nothing left for BJ. I don't have nothing. All I have is memories and journals. I write about BJ in my journal all the time. All the time I wrote about him. Because we was always doing something new, something different. I got 5 years worth of information on BJ. And BJ was always, in my journal, I would always say, man, I'm not his friend no more. He get on my nerves. Ooh, he get on my nerves. But little did I know, BJ was like a brother to me. He was like the brother I never had. I felt like I always had to be in charge of, friend, did you do this today? Did you do that today? My dad is like that too. I think I get that from him, He probably don't mean no harm by it, but I take it as really like, serious. Maybe because I'm a Taurus, I'm a little sensitive. But I take it as he may not mean no harm by it. BJ would be like, you always nagging and stuff, nagging. Friend, I'm not nagging. I just, let's just say if you go on a trip somewhere, bring some spending money for emergencies though, and don't spend it. I was like that. I was always thinking about what could happen in the future if there is an emergency. Don't spend all your money. You know what I'm saying? But my friend lived his life like it was the end. I was like, he'd be so depressed. I think I was a big distraction from what he was going on with what he had going on. And when we stopped talking, it was really bad. So, friend, I appreciate you. I really do. If it wasn't for BJ, I wouldn't have this lavender house right here. I wouldn't have this tree house right here. Because when I was broke, I ain't had no money. Being an entrepreneur, I was struggling. Sometimes I ain't had no money to eat. I would go to sleep hungry. No food. We would share a Wendy's 4 for $4. That's how broke we was, okay? He had a job, but I had a job too. I had 2 jobs. My jobs were both entrepreneurial. And of course, I'm not bringing in money. They always say, if it's something you love, somebody else will like it too. You can turn it into a business, which is true. That's so true. And I did take a break from doing my homes. I took a break from selling them. I didn't really even sell homes. I hate to sell my homes. I really do, because they like my family. You know what I'm saying? They like my family. They're like my children. I hate to sell them. But I know that they can go to good homes. So if you are interested in a home, let me know. But I'm a realtor too, so I do practice real estate. But it's like you can't get attached to stuff that you build and create and make. I think that's how all of us are. We get so attached, all of us creators, we get so attached to something and we find out we can sell it, and then we sell it and it's time to sell it. There's no value, no price can value that, because that money is gone. It's gone. It's spent in the blink of an eye. It's gone. And that product is man, I hope they like it, but I miss it. My Savage Sunflower house, I think about that house often from 2020. I miss it. I really do miss it. I miss that house. That was one of my favorite homes. And I had to sell it because it was keep your car or sell that house. And I didn't want to sell the house. I really didn't. I didn't at all. And it was Louis, you got to make a sacrifice. So I've had to make many sacrifices for my business. That's part of being an entrepreneur. You're going to have to make sacrifice. You're going to have some hard days. Some days going to be long where you ain't going to make no money. But some days are going to be good where you are going to make some money. It may not be a lot of money. But I spent time and time making money, meaning I was always investing into my brands and building it up. Now, it looks like it's junky, but trust me, I know exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, okay? And we all got to start somewhere, all right? This is not the beginning for me. I've had a lot of good. It's been a lot of good. It's been mostly good, though, but it's been some bad times, too. Real bad, bad. And I'm talking about, there were some times I almost gave up. Not my life or anything, but I almost gave up on my passion. I don't want to do this no more. Oh, my gosh. After they done shut down my Etsy, shut down my Shopify, shut down my websites I know I've been working on hard. After they done took it away and shut it down, and then I can't get into my email address, it takes a lot out of you. It's like a blow, like a mental blow. It's nothing like having something you work so hard for taken away from you and you don't have control over it. That's really hard. That's hard. But I'm just glad that I'm able to, let this out, talk with y'all, and y'all are able to talk with me in the comments. So if you can relate to anything I said, comment below. Just comment below. I got to give my sister back her phone because obviously this is her phone and this is her shed. And you know what I'm saying? She does help me out, but I have to help myself out. And I'm doing that. It just takes a little bit of time. Like when you are building your own empire, it takes time. Nothing happens overnight. So, like I said, all big dreams start out small. Just start small. Start making a little bit of momentum. That's momentum to keep it going. Okay? So as you expand, you start to upgrade, you get more and more and more. All right? I'm starting to get off track, off subject, because like I'm supposed to come in here just for these gift wrapping stuff, but I end up talking and chatting with y'all for almost an hour. Used up all my sister's storage space on her phone. But yeah, I gotta hurry up and go. So y'all peace. See, I was always like that with friend. I was always like that with him. I was like, friend, I gotta go. I was always thinking out loud, but I was always like, friend, I gotta go. I'm using up my sister's phone. I gotta go. I was always letting those thoughts of the outside affect my inside. Meaning like everything that's going on outside is gonna be all right. So yeah. But thank y'all so much. I know I'd be saying goodbye a lot and bye. I'll catch y'all later. Happy crafting, folks. But yeah, I really gotta go. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this video off my sister's phone because she need this for like what she needed for. And yeah. I didn't know I was gonna be on for 46 minutes and 43 seconds. And yeah, she ain't gonna like that. She ain't gonna like that. Okay. And these some good videos, and I don't want her to delete them. Not yet. Okay, and I ain't got them yet. So we gotta do something. We're gonna do something real quick. So yeah, we're gonna go somewhere. All right, so I can get these videos. Like to transfer it to my iDrive so much more easier. Yeah. But yeah. Wish y'all well and happy crafting, folks. I hope y'all have learned something about me, and tell me something about y'all too in the comments too. Like tell me something about y'all. Like what do you like to do? What are some things have you been into? Have you been discriminated against? Do you have a best friend? Do you build houses? What's your hobby? What's your gifts? What's your talents? Do you like strawberries? Do you like blueberries? Do you have diabetes? Do you not have diabetes? Do you check your health? Are you healthy? Stuff like that, makes me think about life stuff too. Yeah, that's it, y'all. Peace.